Shalom. And give praise on the glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Hashem Kakadash. And those hundreds of hours. And the apostles of great Muslims open the truth. And peace, blessings, and salutations to hopeful it. And like it says, women are trying and failing at convincing men to attend single events. In which the time for all that's over.
Like if you were to do it in a bar, right? There's a chance that the person you're approaching is in a relationship or they're just not in the mood to talk. I think we've all been there, right? Like you've gone out with your friends and you're like, this is about me and my friends. This is not about other people tonight. And so I really think going to these dating events is such an untapped opportunity for men. And it's crazy to me because women's tickets for events sell out so quickly all the time. I've seen events where the women's tickets sell out within 15 minutes. And then men's tickets are still available until like an hour before the event. It's crazy. So yeah, I think I really believe in dating events, especially because I think there's actually way more manners in dating events. The problem with dating apps is like things like ghosting, and ghosting to me is a lack of respect and manners, right? It doesn't take much to say, nice talking to you, but I don't feel a connection, goodbye. Like it doesn't take much to do that. But because
That's funny because you women love doing that, man. And to be honest, the best thing to do is to move on, man. That's the best thing to do.
we're digital and we're just constantly...
Maybe an untapped market, but I can tell you something. It's going to remain an untapped market, okay? There's no amount of convincing. Because it's not the event that's a problem. The event isn't a problem. It's what you're getting from that event. And a lot of, especially young guys, have just said, you know what? I'm good.
Preserve the things.
I live a crazy life, y'all.
Every dollar.
Why am I a 28-year-old grandmother?
And ensuring
Say hey to my grandbaby, though.
No 28-year-old grandmother. I mean, just creating generational nonsense. Generational nonsense. You had a baby at 14? Your child had a baby at 14? Oh, man. You could be a great grandmother by the time you're 38, 42. Is it 42? 42, damn!
I found that being 30 years old and trying to date in 2025 is so stupid. It's so stupid for three reasons it's stupid. So okay, first reason. If you're even remotely worth a pot to piss in, I'm talking about as a woman, you done bossed yourself up, you look good, you smell good, you drive good.
You see what I mean? Now, what's the point, man? Men ain't out here looking for bossed up women. Looking for feminine women. Which, obviously, come across those lines of being, what's it called, feminine. But even then, man, usually, you women have this to look forward to. Yeah, man, Second Genesis 15 and 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell in it. And even woe going into the word destruction, man. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth near. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And essentially, going into that civil war, man. And even on top of that, you got the what's it called? I forgot what it's called. But you know what? Let me read this anyway. For there shall be sedition among men, basically rising up, and literally telling other people to rise up and invading one another. In which, yeah, at that point, people are gonna be running up in people's houses. At that point, so they should not regard their kings nor princes. Basically, going to the what's it called? The presidents, or basically the person that runs the area, or the prime minister. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, in which, yeah, people are gonna do what they want. They're not gonna care what these kings and princes have to say. They're gonna do exactly what they want.
Good job. Like, you know what I'm saying? You work hard. You might
Nothing in relation to relationships, but sorry, I just have to. Cool.
as well go ahead and cut out 50% of the contenders that you could have had. Like, so from 100, wipe 50% out. When you make yourself worth a pot to piss in, you've wiped 50% out. So now we're down to the last 50%. So boom. Now we start getting into standards. So okay, cool. Like, we ain't talked about ourselves. Like, you got yourself together. So now we have to find like an equally yoked man, you know, like that also has his stuff together. So, you know, when we're
you ain't gonna find a man like that. And literally, if you look at what's it called, man? If you actually look at what's going on, especially in the dating pool, literally, the very things that you like literally, there's no men that can, literally, what's it called, man? Yeah, there's not enough men for those approvals that you have. There's not enough. So at the end of the day, a lot of you women are gonna be single out here. And even then you're gonna die with a dog, or maybe a cat, or maybe I don't know, like a guinea pig or something.
talking about, you know, having our stuff together, you know, we're talking about having consistent income. We're talking about taking care of your responsibilities. Do you have a vehicle that you can come pick me up in? Do you have a...
Isn't it crazy? Like, is this someone speaking about relationships, or is this like a financial audit? I do feel sorry for women sometimes, because this isn't, I don't blame, like, this is just how women are. It's just how they think. But it's so sad. Like, they have to take these things into consideration. Me, I date a girl who walks to work. She works at a supermarket. She's just really nice, and we have the same goals, and I find her attractive. But they have to do the finances, and they have to do all this, and it's like, damn. It's like your own evolutionary shit is keeping you single.
home?
Sign up to Delivery Plus and get that more feeling again and again. Download the app and order now.
That's actually your home. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you educated? Can you hold a conversation? Do you actually have standards yourself? Like, just bare minimum, cut that in half again. Cut it in half again. So now we done went from 50%, now we're down to 25%, okay?
Shit, that's so crazy, man. And this woman got makeup all over her dirty face, man. And I guarantee if you scrub that off, he knows what you'll be left with. But anyway, yeah, man, I don't want to hear what she has to say, man. Because obviously she's just trying to hold a bunch of crap.
Things that matter. So it might be, okay, like, example, I'm 30. I don't have any kids. Preferably, I would like to date a man who either has no kids, he has maybe one child, and I feel like if they have one child, I would prefer for that child to be older. At least, like 7, 8. 7, 8 or older is what I personally would prefer. So with that also being said,
Too.
we're gonna cut that again because now we're wiping out hella people. So like, body, big type of people who go about like, okay, like success.
But long term, is like
Crazy,
this.
man.
Chances of you, oh shit, like this. Chances of you finding them very low.
And to like really lock in with somebody and really like fuck with them like for them type.
Nothing about nothing who they are. And you talk about people not loving people for them. What the?
That's another thing, man. It's right there, so-called black men. They don't even love themselves. But the one or Israelite men, they just come around and just start loving them when they don't even respect themselves. Nah, man, forget that.
You're a part of the problem.
I just feel like we continue to think like that. Like nobody's ever gonna settle down. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. At the end of the day, out of all the things in my life, school, work, family, I literally feel like relationships are like the number one. It's the only thing that really like I don't understand it. Like work life, understood, calculated. School, understood, calculated. Even family relationships, I can do that in my sleep. But when it comes to relationships, there's no sense of control over it. And it baffles me. Like, you know, like when I really sit down and really have to make some
People settle down, they don't even know how to do it. Why you got white women getting married in universe?
Well, to be honest, that's the point right there, man. These women, I should say, these so-called black men, they don't know how to do that. They honestly don't. If you go to a black woman and ask her to be your wife, there's literally no point, man. And even then, they got this to look forward to, anyway. The book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah 1:14. And it says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. And even then, that even links up with Malachi 4:1, the day of the other man. It's the day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities, and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they should walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shemhavashay. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. As is neither the silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, if then gone to intercontinental ballistic missiles. I said, for he shall make even a speedy rinse of all them that dwell in the land. So yeah, man, he's gonna bring that nuclear fire. As I made mention, man. As I said, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as another. And all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. So yeah, you take that MOTB, you're done, man. Going into the RFID micro CHIP. And you also got the brain CHIP. This is on the day that cometh shall burn them up, says the Lord Yahweh Shemashah of hosts, that he shall leave them neither root nor branch. So yeah, man, the destruction is going to be wild, man. It's going to be crazy.
In university, leaving with a degree and a ring. It's the upbringing. And here's the thing, I'm going to give you some advice, okay? Because I'm not just going to banter you for the whole thing, right? Let me give you some advice. Look at what you're prioritizing. If it's not working, change it. Doesn't mean you lower your standards. Maybe you start to value different things. When you're thinking about a partner, actually think about who they are as a person. If you find a man who's intelligent and hardworking, has a great work ethic, who's a family man, eventually he's going to get where he wants to be because he's going to put that work in. But you just looking at the tangibles, who has it now? Man, a lot of women are thinking like you, who are younger, more attractive, not that you're unattractive, less, damage, relationship damage, etc., who are thinking how you're thinking, who these men are probably picking. The overall point is, these other races of women don't find these men on an upward trajectory out of luck. It's not luck. There is some luck involved, but it's not just luck. They see that man has the intangibles to go and do what he has to do. Start looking at that.
I think single women give the best relationship advice. This is not to say that women who are in relationships who are married cannot give good advice. However, I think that women who are genuinely happy in their relationships are less likely to be giving unsolicited and persistent relationship advice. Mainly because from my experience, the women that I know, that I have seen are happy in their relationships, are busy being happy in their relationships and don't feel the need to overcompensate by constantly telling people like, oh, this is what you should do and this is what I did. That's one. And two, I don't think that your relationship status makes you more credible because, in my opinion, being with your person, finding your person that is really for you and makes you happy is luck. Okay, I'm not interested in earning anybody. If you did or you are, that's your business, but I don't know if I want to take relationship advice from you. Me being a single woman myself, I don't give advice from the perspective of this is what you should do to be in a relationship, but more so of, hey, this is what you can focus on centering yourself. And that can help you attract or know how to identify somebody who is genuinely good for you. So yeah, I am more willing to listen to single women because more oftentimes than not, they're single because they know what they want and they know that what they want exists because they know they're worthy of it.
I should have paused the video and jumped in because she said so much bullshit. I don't know where to... Dating is one of the only places where ad hominems, in my opinion, are completely valid and they're no longer a fallacy. If you're a demon and you're running the streets, but then you're preaching and telling people how to settle down and get married, that doesn't make sense because that's not what you do. You have no experience in what you're speaking about. The one thing you are right on is that women in relationships are just being happy in their relationships. Right? There aren't a bunch of them, online talking a bunch of crap because they have better things to do. It's the only thing you're right about. But that doesn't mean that your advice is better. It just means there's less of them to give advice. Finding your partner, there's luck involved, but it's not just luck. That's stupid. But you're allowed to be that stupid. You allow yourself to be that stupid because if it's just luck, then you're just unlucky. And that's just in no accountability. Of course, you give advice to single women to center themselves. I don't even know what that means. Center yourself so that you'll be able to find a partner.
And even he's talking about making them a prize or putting them on top, in which that's a how normal. The law comes first.
If you want to continue listening to single women, no problem. Birds of a feather, you know the rest.
Men, y'all want the women to call you. You want the women to text you. You want the women to pursue you. You want the women to plan the date. You want the women to come pick you up. You want the women to take initiative, show that she care. Okay. When did this become a thing? And it's not all men, it's some men. But when did this become a thing? The video I posted about low effort men and the amount of women who have the same kind of stories is baffling to me. Can somebody help me out? Like, men really don't plan dates anymore. They want you to approach them and ask for their number. Who is to blame for this shit, y'all? Somebody please tell me, because I'm lost. And once again, it's not all men. But it's a whole lot of y'all, apparently.
When did women start working? When did women start running for office? When did women occupy half the workforce? I feel like these are also the questions you should be asking, because the answer is very simple, and that was the introduction of feminism. Women have become more masculine, men have become more feminine. Now you have what you have.
And even then, that's stupid. These modern day women have become, what's it called, effeminate men. They're acting like effeminate men. Always angry, or always trying to fight. And that's an effeminate man. It's crazy, man.
What you sow.
You want to know something that's genuinely scary? Every single man, and I'm talking every single man that I have dated, has been very open about voting for women's rights. They would go on Instagram and they would have all these posts about like feminism, advocating for women's rights. I didn't tell them to do that. Every single one of them was pro-choice. They thought women should have bodily autonomy. They would literally go to women's marches without me even being with them. They would watch documentaries about the history of women's rights, or talking about the harm of like the sex industry against women. They would read full ass books about feminism and intersectional feminism, to the point where they started schooling me.
That's absolutely dead. You know, I don't even want to hear what this woman has to say. It's not but lies, man. Not but lies on this one. But even then, man, I hope this video was edifying. And give praises on and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, 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 man. Inshallah.